who Marcus uses his pick on in the third round?
I don't think we're going that far.
Uh, Lord, I have a hard enough time getting through the second.
The 49ers select general manager Brian Gutekunst in the third round. Who'd have guessed?
Yeah, we're gonna select a GM.
Yeah. Well, in this universe, he is no longer employed by the Packers, because I am employed by the Packers. So I can have TFG get mad at me for winning a Super Bowl.
All right. Let's start this going. Might as well let everyone know. All right. Pull up chat so I can at least see that. And we'll get going. So I'll tell you my thought process. You're going to be able to look at the teams while I tell you about players. So you can tell me whether you agree or not. First pick, we have the Chicago Bears. They officially complete the perfect season. I mean the perfect negative season, but still perfect season. And they get to pick first.
Yeah, I think this is pretty simple.
Yeah, I think Lamar Walton is the one here. They just go Justin Fields again.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Bryce Young, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yeah, Justin Fields now looking like a fucking fast backup quarterback.
Yeah. I told you, like, Fields, Ritter, Malik Willis, they look much rougher. Like they have throwing stats in the 70s, which is worrisome. So I went with Bryce Young first as well. I completely agree. I think this is a no-brainer for the Bears. I wouldn't even take calls. I'd be like, it's kind of like the Jags with Lawrence. I'm just gonna sit there and make the pick.
Yep.
Next, we have the Texans. This is where I might start differentiating where we're gonna go. I think
Quarterback.
there's two places he could go. Okay, so you and I are on the same line.
Yeah, because Daniel Jones
Daniel
is
Jones
trash
regressed
now.
hard. He
Is
so
so
hard.
bad.
He's rough.
Before he was usable, now it's like he's like a good backup.
So I thought I'll tell you what I thought the second option was that was not quarterback. Was he takes the Heisman winning corner to pair up with Marcus Peters. He takes Stokes. If he does stick with one of theirs, or like he trades like a third for Malik Willis, right? Like something like that.
Yeah,
Right,
he
the
could
Saints
go
wanna dump
corner
him.
too. Right.
I think that's the less likely scenario, but I think
Because he's
it's
going
a
to be picking
scenario
at the
that people
top
should
of the
consider.
second. I feel like you're better off taking a quarterback early and then using the later pick on a corner.
I'd agree. I pick talent early. So when I mean talent,
And he could use a safety as well.
yeah, unfortunately, this is the worst safety class I've
Yeah.
ever seen.
Hopefully he finds someone in free agency, I guess.
Yeah, that's also it's better. It's better for sure. So who I had him take here was the Wisconsin quarterback Matt Abrams.
Yeah, the GOAT. Yeah.
Matt Abrams was
Why is it
Heisman
calling me the
contender,
top
as we
fit?
saw.
Fuck you, man.
I do see that. That is funny. That is actually kind
Is
of
it trying
ironic.
to tell me that Rodgers is retiring? Like,
Oh, that would be your nightmare. Especially with how I have mocked this draft. That would be your nightmare. All right, so I think Matt Abrams. He also won his bowl game. He showed talent. I think this is a no-brainer. Texans go take their future QB who has a top 5 grade. Bills are next. Or no, sorry, not Bills. It's the Lions actually because they own the Rams pick.
all right, who's the worst player on the board? That's who they take. Oh, George Zimmerman. What the
That
fuck?
center.
Yeah, there we
Yeah,
go.
he said
That's his pick.
it's that center. Oh, you know what? I don't know if you'd waste a top 3 pick like that. Maybe his other first. We'll see. So he's at a great spot of there is nothing he needs to pick here. He can kind of just take BPA.
If I'm him, I would probably trade down.
Yeah, like in realistically, I'd be looking for guys who want to trade up. I'd be looking at teams like Raiders, maybe Falcons, Steelers, even if they want to guarantee they get the one they want and they don't get jumped. Right? There's a couple guys who are looking at quarterback that I think might jump. We'll have to see. But without trades, I'm just gonna say he takes Joshua Stokes. It is highly likely that Stokes has superstar. He is a top 5
Yeah, you'd probably be able to
player.
cut Slay as well.
Yeah, Slay would be a cap penalty, or you could keep Slay on for one more season and have Stokes develop behind him, right? Like there are so many options for him if you pick Stokes here, especially running with Akuda and Stokes. I see no reason you don't pick the Heisman winning corner. If you're the Lions, you kind of got lucky that the Rams bottom out and you're up this high, right?
Yeah.
So I just think that's an easy pick for them. Now we're talking the Bills. So now it's the Bills. This one I went, I guess, maybe a little offbeat. What would you pick for the Bills? Their roster is also interesting.
Yeah, let me see. So Bills.
Because
Bills.
we have the 2 top quarterbacks gone, but they don't need quarterback. They would have considered Stokes if he was here, but Stokes is gone now.
Honestly, maybe. Well, maybe not. I was gonna say maybe running back.
You could consider running back. It's just whether you want to take a running back top 5. That's always the question. So I think it is
right tackle, maybe.
I think it is possible. He could take tackle. I went a little different. I said he's going to take DeAndre Langford, who is rated the best edge, and he also fits that big body like mold that the Bills have. 277, 6'6", solid first round grade, just barely out of the top 5. I see no reason they shouldn't take him.
They could
Just
take
seems
another
like a
D
prototypical
tackle.
Bills.
So they got Rousseau,
IDL
they
guy?
got Epineza, they still got Hughes, although he's gonna be free agent.
Yeah, Hughes is gone. Epinesa is on his last year. You got Boogie Bosham, but he's kind of like your rotational interior guy as well because he can play interior. I would take what's almost a sure thing in Langford.
Would
Like
you?
Langford is basically a sure thing.
I
Probably.
mean,
Yeah.
I look at their D tackle depth chart and I see Ed Oliver and then nobody, like genuinely nobody worth a damn.
Well, here's the thing. If they want just to have run stuffers, because Ed Oliver is their pass specialist, this free agency is really nice for that. If you just need guys to stuff runs and push pocket, that's what this free agency has. I would rather gamble on what's harder to hit on edge than interior. But that's just my thought process. Who would you take instead here of Langford at 4?
What do the top D tackles look like?
The top interior guys would be like Chamberlain, Higgins, what's his name? Gordon Jones.
It
Like
might
there's a
be.
couple, but not too many.
I would think maybe Gordon Jones.
That's interesting. That's quite high from where I have him. We'll get down there, but Grimwood pencil and Gordon Jones here.
Yeah, I think. Let
He
me
was
see. I want
Mel
to see what he
Kiper.
looks like for me right quick. Because, yeah, Gordon Jones. He's got C finesse move, A power moves. Good physical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The hardest thing when you're trying to eval is that you don't know all the specifics on these guys, which always sucks. But
Yeah,
so you'd go Gordon Jones here.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so Grim would go Gordon Jones. I would go DeAndre Langford.
Oh, yeah. DeAndre Langford, yeah, right.
Yeah, Dimitri Langham, I don't rate as high. He was still rated as I think he won like most sacks in a season or something like that. Biden was saying, but Langford was rated best edge, so he's the one I'd keep my eye on. So Saints are up next, and they're in I think an even worse position. Their team is just getting cap space now, but they really don't have anything that is of like drastic need that they could replace this high. You know what I mean? Like the only thing I think they could take this high would probably be like a quarterback, right? If they wanted to move on from Malik. But I don't get that feeling that that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't think so.
This is going to be a bit unconventional. I'm going to have them gamble on Greg Meadows. He has insane athletic tendencies as a guard. Some of
Disgusting.
his abilities look some of his abilities look average. He does have like A awareness, which is incredible. I would more or less gamble that Meadows is probably a great player, but it's going to take about a season to get ready, which is exactly what the Saints would want. They're having Pete basically getting ready to be cut next season. You just slide Meadows right in.
Yeah, I guess. I just think Greg Meadows is trash.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, especially like when Dev, like if he has Dev, like a couple of these top guys, I think
God,
who
imagine if he's normal Dev though. Oh,
if he is normal, that hurts. That hurts because you're basically have to play him and then hope he plays well so you can get him a Dev. So we'll move on from that. I think that one's kind of the most risky choice I made early on, but I think it's sound logic. Steelers are up next. This one I think was pretty obvious.
Steelers, they
What do you
probably
think,
take a
Jim?
quarterback, right?
Yeah, I think they're done with Ritter. I think that was they had a change of ownership or of head office, and they do not want Ritter anymore. I would expect Ritter to possibly even be sold low because Ritter is now down kind of with that group of young quarterbacks who just kind of like they're there. They have probably Stardev, but they really don't have much ability right now. So I'm gonna have the Steelers take the your prototypical big arm, fast, mobile quarterback Lamar Walton. That's who
Damn,
I have
two
them
two
penciling in for.
AFC North quarterbacks named Lamar.
Yeah, that would be actually kind of ironic. But that's who I have them take. You agree?
I mean, probably if they're getting rid of Ritter, you'd kind of have to go quarterback.
Yep. So Jaguars are up next. They're also kind of in the weird spot the Saints are, although they have a couple more holes. I'm just gonna have them take one of the last top 5 players who are left on the board in Sean Cook. He won best tackle from college, so again, more than likely he has Dev, even if he is more average in other abilities. So I think it makes more sense to take a guy like Sean Cook.
Man, his
The
offensive
more
line is
gamble on the
rough.
athletic.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd gamble on the athletic tendencies and trait. So we already had 3 quarterbacks come off the board. This is a nightmare for most teams because most of the teams in our league need quarterback quite heavily. So Raiders are up next, and they're gonna sprint and take the strongest arm quarterback who's still here. They love to go deep, right? They got Henry Ruggs. They're gonna sprint to go take Russ Carter, quarterback, who I have him over Andy Rhodes for them purely just based on arm. I think that's gonna be the difference maker between picking Andy Rhodes or Russ Carter. Is just arm. What are your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, I mean, you got it right because Sam Darnold sucks and Marcus Mariota sucks, so you kind of need a quarterback,
Mm.
and that makes sense. I mean, because you can develop
The
accuracy a lot easier than throw power.
Exactly. Throw power is a more innate thing that these quarterbacks have to have. We do have the Falcons, who I think will also take a quarterback right coming up next, and I think they just take the last of the top four. They just take Andy Rhodes. They kind of are in an unfortunate situation.
You
I
don't
would look
believe in
for
Keaton Slovis?
yeah. After I just regressed him too.
That's a pretty good backup though, Keaton Slovis.
Yeah, I think for like the third round they spent on him, I think he's a fine backup. I don't see any reason to move him. But you need someone to take Matt Ryan's spot. It's time.
Yeah.
I would say come draft day, look for Raiders, Falcons, or Steelers to jump each other. Like they're gonna be looking to jump. So like look for like the Jags, Lions, Bills to flip with them and have them jump each other. It's the most logical thing is these guys try to jump each other for these quarterbacks if they have one they really like.
Damn, he could use like an edge player though.
Falcons?
Yeah. Like
yeah,
his
so
edge
what I'd
is
have him
rough.
what I'd have him do, as much as I'd love him to take Langham, is because quarterback's so much harder for him to acquire, I would go get Von Miller or like maybe see if you can get Hassan, right? Like someone like that, right? Like who's at edge? Like Von Miller is available. Ginkle would be good in that role. D Ford, like Josh Allen might hit free agency.
Zadarius is going to be available for trade too, I think, right? That's what you said.
Yeah, I mean if they want to talk to me via trade, because I'm gonna tag them. Like there, you have options. That's the big thing. You've got options. You have much less options at QB that are gonna be long-term options, unless you spend the big bag for Dak.
Yeah, or you could
Which,
trade for like
maybe.
Desmond Ritter. Like if you're
Yeah,
not,
you could try to trade like a third for Ritter and have that work. I don't know. We'll have to see. Some of these teams are gonna have to evaluate whether they
yeah.
really like
I
some
mean,
of the
we
QBs
you
or
know
not.
we talk about it's hard to get quarterbacks, but I mean, there's plenty of quarterbacks that are going to be available that aren't
So
bad.
that's the thing. It's plenty of. They aren't bad, but is the question, are they good enough, so to speak? And are they going to get good enough over the time you're going to have them, right? Like if you have Justin Fields, you're getting Justin Fields like, okay, I have to fix Justin Fields in 2 to 3 seasons or this is a failure. Right? Whereas if you draft one of these guys and you hit, you got 4 to 5 seasons of just straight up development. That's the difference. That's always the difference when you start talking about whether a new regime wants to draft a quarterback or not. So we'll get off quarterback talk for now. We have the Buccaneers pick coming up. They own the Colts. So the Colts have picked 10. I have an interesting idea here. There is a player that has been rated very highly that is not off the board yet.
Yeah, the running back.
Yeah, Demetrius Samuel.
Yeah.
This is basically a free pick for them. Right? Like, would you not agree with that? Like, this is free. They could take, like, there's a couple of things they could have considered early here. Like, I did look down the board at corner because I think they're going to try to fill that. I looked down the board at maybe tackle. Maybe they have Zion not start anymore, but I didn't think anyone was going to be, worth a pick 10 here. Maybe receiver. I didn't think anyone was worth pick 10. I think you just take you take Samuel. Connor's on his last year. You have a Mitchell being like a third down. You take the big boy Demetrius Samuel and you just pound. Right?
Yeah.
You don't have to be so aerated.
Because I feel like you don't want to keep James Conner because he's getting up there in age and he's slow.
As I said, you get Connor on that short down yardage. You get Mitchell on third downs, and this is your lead back. See, here I'm because I actually run like a 3-4 running back system. I don't know. I know most people don't, but that would be my logic.
Ugh.
So I think that's a free pick for them. All right, Browns are up next. This was a bit of a weird one. What do you think about the Browns?
I think they're probably going to want a quarterback.
You think quarterback? You think they move on from Emery?
Yeah, because Emery isn't eligible for any dev boosts or
Hmm.
anything. I mean, it's not like he'd get them anyway, but like, you
Hmm.
cannot have this man start at quarterback for you next season. You look at his
Hmm.
stats, there is no way.
So I'll tell you, I did not have them pick quarterback. I do honestly think they're gonna run with Emery, even if they can't get him reviewed. I think they will.
They could go
I could be shocked
receiver.
come draft day. Yeah, you could gamble on one of the receivers. There's like three receivers that I think they're worth like gambling a first round on early. But besides that, I don't think there's anyone past that. What would you have him take? Just a receiver here? Just take one of them?
Um, I would take a quarterback, but
You take a quarterback?
yeah.
I'm gonna have them pick the other edge in Dimitri Langham. There's another because he was one of the last top 10 players that's still here. So you got Clowney one more year. Langham slides right underneath him. You can rotate him with Clowney. Then when Clowney's gone after that season, Langham takes over full time. You got Langham and Garrett. I think that sounded pretty nice to me. If you're really going to stick with Emory Jones, like you better start stocking up at other positions. Kansas City Chiefs are up next. This is another weird team where most of this team is pretty stacked. Like it's pretty well put together. Kind of like the Saints, right? Most of the team has kind of got a good baseline. So I went again kind of with an interesting pick. Where is he? I went and had them take Brandon Gross out of Oklahoma, another guy who's basically just an athlete with also very high awareness, like an A awareness. Just basically take whatever you want, right? Like just take an athlete, take a gamble on someone you think could have high upside, and move on. What do you think on that?
I really don't think he needs offensive linemen because he's got young
Really?
guys all across the line.
I think on the right side he's fine. I like Trey Smith. I think he should kick Niang back out to tackle to have good depth with Lucas, and then I'd have Gross potentially start at left if he is high end athlete immediately,
I mean, he could
or
do
you have
that,
Gross develop.
but I think keeping Niang at guard is probably the best move because he doesn't have like the greatest pass block. So keeping him at
Yep.
guard would make it harder for people to take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
And you could take a
Possible.
tackle later in the draft.
Possible.
I just don't think if I'm him, I'm not going offensive line.
Yeah, no, there's a very real chance. There's a couple other players I think he could take here, but I mean, this is why we have multiple mocks. Certain things fall certain ways.
You could take edge.
Yeah, like I think if Browns decide to go like receiver, let's say instead, then I think this is the Langham pick right here with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But because I had Langham
Oh,
go
I
to the
forgot
Browns
he has
early,
the
I don't
goat,
think there's.
Chris Rumpf. Never mind,
Yes,
he
I
doesn't
did
need
trade him
edge.
Chris Rumpf. I did trade him Chris Rumpf. Cardinals are pick 13. This one was so obvious to me. I just put it in and moved on. I gave him Gordon Jones. He's an X. Sam Williams went up to X Factor.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. When did that happen? Did that just
He
happen?
he
That's
he put it in the
ridiculous.
chat the other day.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, well, maybe Edge is not high end. Edge is not nearly as needed now. Honestly, maybe what we actually should do is flip those picks because basically Browns could gamble on the athlete at guard, and then Chiefs take Langham.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
that
actually
that
like
would
that
make more
more.
sense to me.
I didn't know. Fuck, he went up to. That's insane.
Anyway, how's it going, Cowboys?
Uh.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Ugh. I don't even get me started on that game. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, no, that was the entire last month of my season.
Oh, we gotta love Blizzard games.
Was it the whole Blizzard deal with like the minus stats as well? Oh fuck. Yeah, that sucks ass.
Cards pass rush killed you week 18. Oh, I'm so sorry. This next pick is not going to help you.
Yeah, Gordon Jones is
Oh, I'm
gonna
so
be
sorry.
sick.
Yeah, it is. That's exactly who it is. It's Gordon Jones. You want to see J.J. Watt but bigger and stronger? Yeah, that's basically what Gordon Jones is going to be in this system. Sorry there, Anderson. Patrick Bateman's going to be having to deal with that shit. I think that's just the most simplistic penciling I've seen.
Damn, I was hoping to maybe have a chance to pick him, but I figure he's going before me, so.
Yeah, well, if he wasn't going there, I guarantee you Ty's picking.
Yeah, for sure.
So, please no, fuck you, Clubbage. Gordon Jones is coming. He's coming for your ass.
Yeah.
You get to decide.
Yeah, Clubbage,
He's
there's
gonna
no
bully
way
Damian
you're
Lewis.
getting Gordon Jones unless you give up the bag.
He's gonna bully Damian Lewis, and you have no chance to deal with it. I love Damian, but Gordon Jones is a mismatch.
All right, who's next?
All right, Ty, Eagles. This one, there's a couple spots.
Man, he would be so heartbroken losing Gordon Jones to the pick before.
Oh, he would. He would be upset. like losing Gordon Jones, losing like guys like potentially Langham, right? Who he could rotate, getting rid of Sweat. Like that's hard. Yeah, Raiders did go already. Raiders picked the quarterback, Russ Carter, strong arm type quarterback. The next Carson Strong, essentially. Yeah, you could have the next one. But here's what I went for Eagles. I went corner. I went and took Jalen Scott, who I think fits what the Eagles want to do well as a secondary. They've got Ahmad Gardner, right, as the number one. But they've got two slots, and then it really, like, drops off afterwards in talent. Like, they've got Hall, but Hall has played really rough. Like, he's not very agile. He's not very fast down the field. I would probably I'd rather gamble on a better athlete who has better coverage tendencies, Jalen Scott. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, that works. I'm not really seeing what else he could go for.
Cowboys, you haven't looked at all at the draft? That's all right.
Yeah, I haven't looked that much either.
Now we're gonna go pick 15. Echo is back in the same spot he was last year. That's infuriating. I've got an interesting idea here. This team is pretty well put together, as well. Like not really many needs. He fixed their biggest need in receiver basically all last year, getting Justin Ross and Gallup. I had him take Henry Chamberlain, who is the top D tackle on the board. Now that Gordon Jones is gone, Henry Chamberlain is ranked number 1. Pair him up at like right edge. You move the guy who's or not right edge, right end, and you have the guy at right end kick as a secondary nose tackle. I like that mix. What do you think, Grim?
I kind of like him to take a middle linebacker here.
It's possible, but
yeah.
My thing with the interior linebackers in this draft is they are deceptive. I was talking to Clubbage about this a couple days ago, since I used my national scout on them as well as another scout. They look good until you actually see what their abilities are, and then you go, crap, they have none. Like, most of these guys are awful at block shedding. Most of them have D to F zone coverage. Like, they are really not good. So I think someone will gamble on one interior linebacker. I do have that penciled in later down the board. I just don't know if at 15 they will.
Yeah, I'm not really certain what else they could take corner, maybe.
Yeah, corner is a question. Like, I think if Jalen Scott was here, maybe they consider that a little more heavy, since Scott's a bit of a better athlete who can play that man, that kind of bump and run coverage.
Yeah, I guess interior D-line makes sense.
Yeah,
The
just take
ages.
something that helps make him cheat. Yeah, right. Buccaneers are up next. This is their actual pick.
Damn.
I
It's,
just had them pick. What's up?
it's I just that's insane that they have two low picks. This one's got to be like interior defensive line, right?
I did not have them pick interior defensive line. I think they're going to spend the money on that in free agency. I think if Gordon Jones was here, again, they'd absolutely do it. But because he's not, especially with also Chamberlain gone now, I think they consider fixing the issue they have at corner. Because we saw the moment he got rid of Dean, his secondary fell apart. Right? Like Murphy Bunting was not good enough on the outside to take most wide receiver twos. He has what's the first guy's name? I can't remember the other guy. But basically, once he got rid of that other outside corner, his whole system fell apart. And his corner depth, he does not have a lot of guys under contract. I'd take J.C. Walters here.
He could take tight end.
He could. It's a consideration. Like I think you definitely check out Max Sturman here. I think you consider it. The problem is that Max Sturman can't really block well. I would not expect him to block. Next, we have Grimm's pick.
Oh damn, we're already on pick 18.
Yes, we are. We are on pick 18. So again, for you, this is kind of a weird pick. There's a couple things I liked. There's a couple things I didn't like. I thought I considered O-line. Oh wait, are we on pick? No, wait. Sorry, I actually did miss a pick. I missed the Giants. Doesn't matter much. But the reason I didn't have you take O-line here is because I actually had the Giants pick O-line.
Yeah, what did
I
the
actually had them pick Madison Zeitler.
Zeitler. Who the fuck is that?
The
second
guy,
left tackle, yeah.
Yeah, solid first round projection. He's been up there the whole year. Good size, who can kick into guard or tackle if they really want to stick with Pert or not. Grimm takes a kicker? Absolutely. That's exactly what I have penciled in. But I think Giants just taking O-line help is a need at this point. I don't care whether they play him at tackle or guard, they just need it.
Alright, who do you think I take then?
Now for you at 18, I had you pick the next best interior in James Higgins. I liked Higgins a lot. I think he sits at left end on our board. He does. 6'4", 302. He's been up there the entire year because you can see with the hearts. I gave hearts all to like the top 5 players at each position, at least when we started the year. He has stayed up there the entire time. I think he's a great player. You got Kingsley Keke, who kind of plays that pass rushing interior side on the left. Kenny Clark's your nose. And then you got this guy, James Higgins. Helps keep you cheap as well.
I already have a cheap left end.
I think this guy's better. I think this guy's
I can
better.
tell you, I'm probably not taking him. I'm probably not taking him.
There you go. Insider info, but this is what I thought was the most logical thing.
Yeah.
I thought he was better enough. You guys are going to love my Titans pick next.
I honestly... Dude, Byron Bird would be sick, but I'm not taking him either. Honestly, I'm probably... If the board falls this way, I'm probably taking the right tackle. Tyron Wesley.
Tackle, the one with injury issues? Oh, no, Wesley is the one with injury issues, right?
No, he's not.
Yes. Yeah, he is.
You sure?
Yeah, it's the one that we just said that had injury. Oh, no, it was Trainer that had injury issues. Oh, you're right. Oh, my God, Trainer fell like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Trainer went from like a rounds 2 to 3 to a fucking solid day 3 project. He killed himself in draft stock. Yeah, so you're right. Yeah, you could go Tyron Wesley here. I think that's totally logical.
Yeah, that's where I'd go if the board fell this way.
Titans pick.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say the only issue with him is his strength is only gonna be decent to solid, but yeah, this is where I'd go.
Yeah, Clovis says you're freaking spoiling. Why are you spoiling your pick, Grim? Jesus.
Yeah.
Telling the whole world what you're picking.
I said the board fell that way.
Well, here's an interesting thing to consider. We had all four quarterbacks that had solid first round to top five grades go. There's one quarterback left that has a somewhat first round grade, and with Ryan Tannehill just bombing out as he is at that age and not being able to finish in the playoffs, I did have the Titans pick Jeff Vogel here. Mobile, tall, just kind of a freak athlete again, strong arm. I think this is basically Josh Allen. This is a Josh Allen prototype, and I think he's going to be better than what's the
Well,
guy they have?
if he successfully trades Derrick Henry, he's probably going running back.
Maybe, maybe. I think he's more looking at a rebuild, which is totally fine for him to think. Right there, that window for them was small.
Or wide
JT's the
receiver.
future. Yeah, I don't know if JT's the future. But my issue is I liked Vogel for them more than any receiver in this spot. But that's just me. That's me sitting as the Titans. Right? Maybe JT is the future, as Clubbage is just saying. I don't know if they'd consider JT the future or not. Maybe. I'd rather pick the 6'4", 232 strong-armed athlete at quarterback.
My God, that's John
I'll stick
Elway's
with
music.
JT. I know. Oh, yeah, Elway is just straight up excited at this idea. But maybe, like I said, this is why we do multiple drafts, multiple mocks, right? Because this is just me. This first goes is just kind of what I've interpreted as what I do for each team. I need to see how they act first, right? I need to see who gets extensions and who is going where in free agency. That's probably when we start talking about these other mocks that I have coming up, which will hopefully refine kind of my radius on them. But we'll keep it to that for now. Panthers are up next. I think these next two picks are again some of the easiest. I had the Panthers take interior line and Chris Brown. I just had them literally take the next highest first round guard.
Yeah, probably, huh?
Yeah, and then same thing with the Dolphins. I had them pick Harry Beckham, who is another like first to second round guard. Like literally just the two biggest issues with these team is they have not held up on the interior O-line very well at all, and it showed in both their games. Both their games were just a nightmare on the interior. So I think both will look to fix that kind of in the mid to near end of the draft. Kind of take what's left, so to speak. We have a lot of guards being taken, but I think that's what a lot of teams are going to take. So here's a bit of a weird pick again. Cowboys are up next. Who would you pick for the Cowboys? It's a bit of a big question. We kind of know they need to go defense, but a lot of the good defensive players are gone. Except one. Outside linebacker Damian Strong out of Ohio State is still here. He is ranked 11th overall on the board, and the Cowboys are at pick 22. I don't think they can pass up on that.
Is he an edge
He does.
player? Do you know?
If I'm, you know what, you guys want some inside info? Yes, if you want some inside info, I think he's a Micah Parsons build. Which, having two of Micah Parsons, you absolutely do if you can. I know that's kind of dumb, but that means that lets you let Strong kind of jump in and out of rushing. He doesn't need edge. I mean, yeah. I'm not saying you use Damian Strong as a pure edge player. I think he's a fun hybrid. If I had the chance to get Damian Strong on that Cowboys team with Parsons and Cox, yeah, I'm doing it. Especially with Strong falling to you. He's ranked 11th overall on the board. Having a guy like that just kind of slip to you just from other teams having needs, I think is very, very lucky for them. He also moved Micah to actually two middle linebacker, which I actually like better. At least for the Micah Parsons that we have in our league. Jets are up next. This is where I have the first interior linebacker off the board, and Brendan Nichols. This team does not have needs, essentially. They really don't. They can start taking picks to plan for the future.
Well, yeah, he cut Mosley and save a shit ton of money.
Exactly, right? Like you can afford to take someone who's not very good, like they're just an athlete, but not very good at anything. You can afford to do that and hopefully have Mosley train him up. I think there's really no wrong pick here for the Jets. I think it'd be very hard for them to miss.
Oh yeah, they really do need a corner though, huh?
Yeah, I think they're gonna spend top dollar and go get one. They could take like what was it? Geno goes corner. Yeah, like I was about to say, if you're talking about Bird, Geno could go Bird right here.
Yeah, I think Bird would actually be a great pick for him because he's big and tall. He doesn't really have that.
That's a G Bear question. Does Geno run press corner? I don't think he does. I'm trying to remember. I don't think he pressed my corners a lot. That's true. He's never had the opportunity. It could be Bird. I said for future picks, maybe I do pick Bird here. But I'm gonna go with Nichols. I'm gonna go with the one linebacker. I think they could emulate Mosley if you gave them time. Broncos are up next. This one I still have written down. We're almost at the end of what I've had written down, and then we can start filling some stuff in.
Yeah, apparently it's
Broncos.
Like his brother's going away thing or something for the Navy or whatever.
Yeah, his brother's going on a trip with the Navy, so he wanted to go see him.
You know what's weird? The other Broncos guy did the same thing. He was going away in the Navy. Like the first one.
Yeah.
Or not the first one, but the... Oh, wait, maybe it was the first one.
Yeah, the first guy was Frank, is who you're thinking of.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, the guy... Interesting. All right, well...
All right, anyways.
Yeah.
Back to the Broncos. I just basically had them pick their Noah Fant replacement. I know you got Dalton Schultz, but you can't not pick Max Sermon, right?
He's got Trey McBride, bro.
Yeah, but you can't not. Like, Max Sermon is just a... Like, that's an extreme athlete. Like, can we go take a look at Max Sermon right quick? Like, take a look at this. 6'6", 237. Top tight end. It's not close. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think you can.
I cannot see him because you have Dalton Schultz, who's whatever, but who's on a decent contract too from the looks of it. You have Trey McBride, who looks pretty damn good, honestly, all things considered, and then you've got Albert O as the third string.
I don't think so. I think when I played him, with how much he uses that tight end, I think having Sermon be that basically Kyle Pitts role, while having McBride take like the Hayden Hurst role and Schultz, you're kind of just stuck with that. I think that is a phenomenal combination. Now, if Brandon Nichols wasn't taken right before him, I think that would have also been tempting. But I don't know. What would you guys have picked instead, out of curiosity?
Honestly, there isn't a whole lot here that he needs.
Do you see Do you see the issue? I just had him take BPA. I think it's too tempting to not.
I mean, he could take an interior. He does play 3-4. He does not
like interior D line.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He does not need a middle linebacker. I don't know why you would want to mock him one, because he's got Jalen Smith on a huge-ass deal.
Yes.
Nick Benito.
Jalen Smith is exactly why.
And Josie Jewell.
I want Brandon
Josie
Nichols
Jewell
to
sucks,
behind him.
I guess not. Never mind. But still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a Shelby Harris replacement.
I mean, there's a couple guys, down here who have that 319 build who could probably play what they want. Shivers and Randall.
Or he could take like a tackle because both his tackles are over 30.
Yeah, I don't know about that. O-line, the O-line's really pretty much gone, Clubbage. Like, Wesley's now... Is Wesley gone? Wesley would be the only one I think he could take. No, Wesley's still here. He could take Wesley. That's kind of the last one, though. Like, these two are gone. There's no center in the first. These two are gone. These two are gone. Like, most of what I think he would have liked to pick here is gone. Wesley, maybe. Maybe he goes Wesley if he really thinks he needs it, but it's really a question of does he have a plan for Sermon or not. All right, last pick that I actually mocked before this game because I didn't know how the board was going to fall quite yet. Texans, they own the Dolphins pick. This one also might be a little controversial. I had them take Dorian Russell. I had them take the last running back with a solid first-round grade, and he's been up there for a while out of Florida. They have 3 running backs that they're all paying under contract. So like I am aware of that. However, I don't see anyone who could be a lead back there.
Corner.
Lindsey's a scat
he takes
back.
corner.
Corner?
You didn't mock Byron Bird, right? Give him Byron Bird.
No, Bird and I think there's one more corner that's also up there.
Easy peasy.
I liked the idea of picking running back first. He's got Peters as his number 1. And Texans have the most money out of anyone to outbid people for corner in the free agency.
Or you could just outbid for a running back. You could trade for Aaron Jones.
Nah, that maybe. I mean, maybe that's what he does, right? He's made some decisions like that before.
Because his cornerback room is fucking awful.
Well, that's why I'd rather he just spend the money there and then take the younger guy. Actually, have like some young cheap depth.
Yeah, you could have young cheap depth at corner. You get Byron Bird.
Maybe Bird fits his system. He runs a lot of man, which I'm not sure if Bird would be good at. Bird is a good athlete, but it seems like he's a very straight line athlete. Like
he's got a press.
Yeah, I don't doubt his press. My problem is can he actually on like when a cut happens, is Bird going to be able to follow him? Like if I face him with Keenan Allen,
this is Madden 22 next gen. He's not. It doesn't matter who you have. It's not Stan.
So maybe he takes Bird instead. I went with Russell.
21 years old, 6'3", corner. No.
Grim's gonna take him out here.
I'd think about it. I don't really need him, but I mean, what's he gonna do? Play the fucking slot? He could actually. Yeah. I guess I could try and throw him there.
Maybe Kevin Kingham.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all I had mocked yesterday. Chargers are up next, so I'm up next. I won't put my input. Chris Wesley Jr., get your Chris Wesley.
Fullback, Steven Chambers.
Fullback Steven Chambers? Yeah, absolutely. I'm going fullback here. I won't ask Cowboys since Cowboys actually hasn't looked at the board.
Wide receiver. This is I'm not even like
wide receiver.
Wide receiver.
Which one?
Well, I assume
4.
I assume whoever we did the Browns, right? The Browns gambled on a receiver. I imagine they go Eddie Jackson here. They went Eddie Jackson. That's who I'd assume they went with. So that would leave
if the Browns were
that would leave Cameron Sharp. Although I guess there's
we had the Browns take Gross. Remember, we just flipped the Gross and Langham pick. They took the interior because they don't have Bitonio anymore.
That's right. So yeah, you would take Eddie Jackson.
You lose Bitonio. So Eddie Jackson, okay. I finally get a wide receiver too.
Yeah,
someone who's consistent.
Great to elite speed. He's got no short route, but you know.
I don't need short route. Yeah. We're going deep with Herbert's arm. Where is that? Oh yeah, down there. I was looking at him. 6'3", 216, but he's got. Could be. If I want to go Mike Williams again. Vikings are up next. I don't think they pick quarterback, even if a guy like Vogel happened to be here and Titans don't pick him. I think they're going to stick with Sam Howell now. So what do you guys think Vikings go? That's Max Sermon. That's the guy I gave the Broncos. I said it's too tempting to not. It's too tempting to not.
I just don't think that's a good choice for him because he's got so many good players at tight end already.
It's Kyle Pitts, baby. It is Kyle Pitts. I don't think there's any O-line. Like, the only line he'd consider here would be Wesley. And I think taking Wesley here would be a mistake. I don't think that's a good idea. No, he did sign Tomlinson back, right? On D tackle. Oh, Cook? That went early.
Oh wait, if the Broncos don't take Byron Bird and no one else is taking him, the Vikings would take him,
Vikings,
right?
Yeah, taking Byron Bird. Yeah, I actually like that fit. Playing that bump and run. Maybe he could do it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. It's too good. I think we're just picking talent at that point. Byron Bird. Now Washington football team. Shay's up. Cowboys, go take a look at our safeties. You'll see why I have not mocked a safety yet. You think Doug?
Whose pick is this? I didn't hear you.
This is Shay. This is Shay's pick.
He could take Doug Foster.
Maybe. now you see why I haven't mocked a safety at all. They're fucking awful. Yeah, they're awful. They're all awful.
I think he could afford to take Doug Foster.
So do we agree maybe a reach on Doug?
He's got... Because Doug Foster is great to elite speed, great to elite acceleration. He's got A pursuit, C zone coverage.
Enjoy work, clubbage. See you later. It's bad, and it's bad all the way throughout.
Yeah.
Yep. So you think he takes Cameron Curl's role at free safety probably, and then he's got Matthew at strong?
Yeah.
Did he really? Oof. That hurts.
Well, Matthew was
go
the
Doug
reason
Foster
my game
here.
got out of control because he made Devontae Adams fumble on the second drive of the game. So
Panthers are picking here again. I'm gonna also say this is gonna be a reach. I think this is Jose Guerrero. I think they go 2 interior because they didn't pick it. They don't have a center, right?
Well, Jose Guerrero isn't a reach. I don't care what it says he's supposed to be drafted at. This man is hot.
I just want to make sure he doesn't have Paradis anymore because Marcus had him. I do believe he doesn't have a center.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I had him take a guard earlier. I think taking someone like Jose Guerrero would be just smart.
A pass block is that A pass block power and B finesse.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's opposite. B power and A finesse. Yeah, that's sick. And B lead block.
He looks nice. I like this. Like we're basically gonna fix the issue he had in his game in all one sweep here. We're gonna get that interior working for Jameis.
Yeah.
I had Sean Cook basically go off purely the idea that he might have Dev. Like he's always been ranked as a top 5, which with Madden's new logic board, quote unquote, usually those top 5 guys don't miss depth wise, which is something the Jaguars could need. Zeitler? Yeah, maybe Cook and Zeitler end up switching spots and the Giants take Cook down the board and Zeitler goes early. Maybe. We'll have to see what the Jaguars do. Jaguars are a bit hard to read. They kind of keep their cards close to their chest. Same guy. He still has him.
Yeah. He showed up at the last minute for the last game.
For his last game. Anyways, Lions pick next. They're at pick 30.
Who picks next, did you say?
Lions.
George Zimmerman.
Well, I already had him take corner. I had him take the Heisman corner at pick 3.
Yeah, that's for the Rams.
So he's gonna get Stokes. He's probably gonna have superstar. He's gonna have Akuda, Stokes, and Slay. Not to mention Owarye is under a cheap contract.
Oh my god, 4. George Zimmerman is fucking terrible. Never mind. Like, I thought maybe he'd be a hidden gem.
You immediately went to George Zimmerman, you fucker.
Yeah, no, he's terrible. Oh my god. The only thing I have 4 stats like shown for him, and one of them is A, but that's stamina. The other ones are F, and D. Like, yeah, that man is garbage. He's gonna sign him as an undrafted free agent, though. So.
Oh, he absolutely will. This is.
No, he's
gone.
Jordan Jones.
He got taken by the
taken
Cardinals.
early.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he is
pick
hot.
13. He went early.
Yeah, if he makes it to my pick, I'm taking him. I don't give a shit.
Not really. He's got Decker and Sewell. I mean, guard, but all the guards are gone. Like Beckham and Meadows are gone. Gross and Brown are gone, and it's a pretty steep decline after that.
I think he takes an. Does he take another wide receiver, you think?
So if I took Eddie Jackson, the ones that are left are Sharp, Hartwell, and Burrow as guys potentially first round graded.
Well, Mike Williams isn't under contract, is he? He didn't extend him.
He did.
Did he?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe he did. He's on my impending free agents list, which means I know he extended him. There's a couple. Does he need a nose or an interior rusher? Which one? So he needs a nose. So then Randall or Shivers?
There is no. I don't see Mike Williams at all on the contract extension sheet in the contract extension chat.
I think he gave it to him in the last offseason.
No, he gave him a franchise tag.
I saw Mike Williams get an extension. All right, quick detract.
Oh yeah, he did. Fuck you, Discord.
I believe he is.
Fuck you.
Never mind. It's been found.
Yeah.
We're heading right back. If he needs nose, there's Shivers and Randall, who are both really solid looking nose tackles here. I mean, Shivers, even though he's ranked lower than Randall, is a 6'6", 313 nose tackle. That's pretty nice.
B power move. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, especially if Terrell actually does have Dev, like, man, that's pretty nice. So we get basically a nose tackle. All right. Bengals pick is officially next, so they think it's going to be a Seahawks-Bengals Super Bowl, and Bengals lose. Let's see. I don't either. You don't really need corner. Do you want interior? I don't really know what you need. Like, you're kind of set. You want another one? You got Gree, you got... Who's leaving? You could take Jalen Overton. He's the last guy here with a first round grade. Like, literally the last one. Alright, there we go. Jalen Overton. Can't complain.
Who did we mock Clubbage?
He's about to be mocked right here.
Oh, that's right.
He's the last one. So, Clubbage is a bit of an interesting one. You could consider
Yeah. Is there anyone
right
left?
tackle.
Well, I
There's
took
Wesley.
the
That's
top
it.
one.
I I think it's Wesley. That's all it's it. Because
Ugh.
we
Yeah,
had
Nelson
you
Bourne's
take
trashed.
Hoskins.
Yeah, that's who
I think he either goes Wesley or
Wesley's gone.
no, he's not.
I took him.
Oh, does he? No, no, I already had you mocked in for James Higgins. I didn't change that.
Oh, well, that's a bad pick. What I say for my pick should override what you picked.
Maybe for future drafts I'll change it, but any of the guys, besides the one thing about I didn't know about Sam Williams, I kept it pretty much the same, even if I do think it might change. I kept
Then I
everything
guess
pretty
yeah,
much
he
the
would take
same.
Wesley then if
He could go interior rusher. Tight end Max Zimmerman. I think Clovage actually does have a few things he can go with, unlike some of the teams that went before him.
Max
He's got a
Zimmerman,
couple.
brother of George.
Yeah, no kidding, right? I don't think you. I mean, with how bad the tackle free agency class is, like with Jawan Taylor being your number one option, I think you just take Tyron Wesley. Take the last guy with a first round grade and just move on.
Morgan Myrick. Yeah. Morgan Myrick would be pretty good, too. He's got like B short route, A medium route, A spec catch. That's pretty good.
Yeah, there's a couple things this class is really good at, and there's a couple things this class is really bad at. Like, really bad. They're projects. All of them are basically projects. Which sucks. Like, if I'm going through this, telling kind of what people what to expect a very poor safety class, a linebacker class that's going to be like very deceptive, and probably a running back class that's also going to be pretty deceptive. That's kind of what you should expect. So, Bucks. I picked 10. Well, that's what I thought. Getting someone who could actually be a lead back, like that might help, especially with how good Demetrius Samuel actually does look. He does look excellent. Yeah, go take a look at Demetrius Samuel. 5'11", 225. Quite incredible. It's interesting. Like, there's a couple teams here. Yeah. I think if Samuel goes before this pick, I think he goes Gordon Jones here. Like, no question. I don't think he even hesitates. But just because Samuel is there, I think he does hesitate at least a little. Even if he does end up going Jones. Mm. Caspignon. Yeah. Well,
yeah, that's what I was
the
saying.
Greatest thing for him. Go ahead.
Yeah, I could fucking James Higgins over Tyrone Wesley. Like, I don't know what you're mocking me that guy for.
How about you actually get good?
I don't know what is wrong with you mocking me players, bro. Like the first mock, you mocked me a running back to replace Aaron Jones.
Yep.
Like what the hell, man? I'm not picking a running back.
Pain.
Not unless the fucking top guy fell to me. That would be interesting.
Yeah, his usage of him really kind of slowed down. That's why I don't know if he's kind of run out of use of him. I'm not quite sure what the idea. Yep. I mean, the best thing for him at pick 10, with the 9 picks before him, I am pretty confident at least 4 to 5 of those picks are gonna be quarterback. which is not something he should be looking at. I'm pretty confident at that.
Yeah. Did you notice?
That quarterback could be something. What?
Did you notice that this kicker is named Madison?
What? A kicker named Madison?
Yeah.
Look at Madison Jackson.
That's interesting. I think that's very interesting.
Is your mind blown?
Yeah, I in the player notes it says it rises to the occasion in big moments. So we got a clutch. He got a throw accuracy mid.
Comparatively.
Yeah, I know, but still. Better to see A's than F's. I don't know. I just wow, Madison.
We need to start doing some bets. Like, what is the over-under Gordon Jones goes in the top 10 and doesn't make it to 13? Like, what are the odds?
I think that's pretty good.
Like 60-40? Like 60% of the time.
I mean, Gordon Jones is a beast. I don't.
Or Jags bet on him.
I bet he gets taken. Yeah, he's up there.
Top 5 worthy. Maybe like the Bills take him at 4.
He's probably gonna have Yeah, he's probably not gonna have very good dev though. I think he's gonna be very good stat wise, but
you think he'll be high end? Jesus.
He'll be a high overall, low dev.
Yeah, Karloftis. Yeah, it's tempting. You could see maybe Gordon Jones probably peak as pick 4. Maybe, you know what? Maybe the Lions. I think if Joshua Stokes goes to pick 2 at the Texans, if they don't take quarterback, maybe Lions takes Gordon Jones, so because he could play nose. Who? Gordon Jones?
Langford. Is an edge.
All I know is Langford was ranked top edge in the college.
No.
I
only know his block shedding. It's just C.
You're taking Matthew Dempsey number 8.
God, Gordon Jones. Mm-hmm. That's even less than Gordon Jones.
There's a couple players here who
Gordon
it's
Jones
gonna be really interesting.
Yeah, that is.
Seriously, we did a lot of mocks of guys on the interior, and I always say this: it never goes this way. And if our last draft should tell you that, people do not respect the trenches probably enough.
I don't know. We had a lot of offensive tackles go early.
Tackles, yeah. How fast is Gordon? What is his speed? Solid to good. Not bad.
I have Kenny Clark and Kingsley Keke both play really well for me, but my God, if Gordon Jones was there, it would be a Packer in an instant.
Because he's white?
I don't have the capital to really trade up, so I have no hope of that, but I would probably agree. Yeah, no, I'm glad I didn't either. Likely was balling for me.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
David Njoku's been balling.
Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowl tight end Robert Tonyan. Yeah, the simultaneous catch with
Here's
Clinton Dix.
We always, I feel like we neglect these outside linebackers, quote unquote. There's so many of them.
Will Harris looks nice.
I was there's so many of them that have solid first or second round grades. There's so many of them. People have to be tempted by that.
Yeah, Isaiah Likely had
that many.
87 receptions for 1,293 yards and 12 touchdowns.
We only had one OLB go in the first 32, and that was Damian Strong because he fell to the Cowboys from pick 11. I don't know.
Yeah, Will Harris does look nice though.
The light guy on the left outside, yeah, Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, because I have him 80% scouted.
Ooh.
Yeah, I didn't touch anything. That the CPU did that for me.
Love it.
Yeah, but I'm looking. Yeah, I'm looking at his stuff. I'm not going to tell you what they are because I'm a bitch, but it's looking nice. Except for his hit power. His hit power sucks balls. His hit power is F. That's not what you want.
Oh, well, on that note, I think we'll end the stream.
Yeah, I
That's
gotta
gonna be
go
our
to work.
first mock. Grim's gotta go to work.
Yep.
Thank you all for joining. Hopefully, we'll see you for the next mock.